Om Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi Grananti Bhurida Jana Bhuvi Grananti Bhurida Jana. The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the most precious thing in our life, which releases us from the bondages of this world forever. We need harmony at all levels, within and without. When we attain that harmony and peace, the love spontaneously emerges out towards the world and towards the divine. We acquire the universal love. Sri Ramakrishna has been explaining the 4 types of jivas: Baddha, Mumukshu, Mukta and Nitya Siddha. The Baddha is one who is intensely attached to the world and worldly enjoyments, who never cannot, is unable to think of God because of his being immersed in the worldly enjoyments. The second is one who is mumukshu. He wants to know, he wants to get released from this. He is in the world, he has finished his play, he wants to go beyond. The plan of nature, we must always remember, the plan of nature is evolution of the jiva from the animalhood to the divinehood, to transcend the nature and go beyond into the life eternal. So this plan of nature, we live according to the plan of nature, then we are following dharma. We follow the laws of nature. And to go against the plan, against the laws of nature is adharma. And this, he adopts the dharma path to transcend the nature and go beyond. And he tries to follow, in spite of the pull towards the lower centers of consciousness, he wants to go beyond. Again and again, the tendency to fall and struggle, again to raise. Hundreds of times he falls, 100 times he gets up. Slowly the attachments reduce, and slowly he finds grip on the divine. He is able to perceive divine everywhere. He is able to perceive the divine within. He is able to love God. He is able to love all beings little by little. His heart is expanding, his consciousness is expanding. The whole thing is, the sadhana is expansion of mind to be one with nature, expansion of consciousness to be one with divine, and expansion of heart to be one with all beings. We raise from the microcosm to the macrocosm, from the little I to the cosmic level of existence. So Mumukshu is one who is trying to go beyond the limitations of nature and reach the divine absolute. Then comes the Mukta, one who has succeeded in transcending the nature and going beyond, landing in the moment we transcend the nature, enter into the realm beyond, we find we are in the ocean of bliss, eternal bliss, bliss absolute. And similarly, love absolute. He is entering a world where there is love and love alone. And there is absolute peace. total freedom from the nature, he enters into life eternal. This person who has transcended the entire nature and laws of nature do not bind him. Karma do not bind him. He doesn't observe, he cannot see, he cannot see anything but divine. All differences dissolve in divine and spirituality. So this we see that we have been in the second stage and third stage of mukta jivas, and the fourth is nitya siddhas like Narada. They are never caught in the maya. They move about freely in all these three levels of consciousness, the bhu bhuva swaha. Freely they move about, just like we move about from Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti, gross body, subtle body, causal body. We move about. We are bound at every level. They are free at every level. They can witness. They are witness of the Jagrat avastha. They are witness of the subtle, that is the Swapna avastha. They are witness of the deep sleep also, Sushupti avastha. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, they are witness. They are beyond the three and pervading the three and aware of the three states and the beyond. Their mind always dwells in the cosmic level to pervade all the beings. And they come to the world only with the purpose of realizing, giving something to the jivas, nitya siddhas. See, these four types of jivas Sri Ramakrishna has described, and we see again. Once I met a relative of Ch.07, 50 years old. He was playing cards as if the time has not yet come for him to think of God. He's 50 years and playing cards. The death is staring at him. He has finished half the life. If at all 100 years he is going to live. But now he is playing cards. How precious is human life. Every moment of human life. Can a human being waste his life in like this? When will he wake up to the realities of life? When will he get the desire to transcend and go beyond mukti? There is another characteristic of a bound soul. If you remove him from worldly surroundings to a spiritual environment, he will pine away. His heart starts weeping deep within. The worm that grows in filth feels very happy there. It thrives in filth. It will die if you put in a pot of rice. Same thing happens. Once we used to sit in our ashrama 1 month continuously in tapas. One inmate will be in tapas. That will be finished. The other will come and occupy that place. 1 month he will live in solitude, calling on God in tapasic life. Worship, this, that, chanting, bhajans, whatever we want, he will go on changing, but he keeps himself linked to the divine at all times. He, on the lap of mother he sleeps, from the lap of mother he wakes up, thinks of the God throughout the day. Morsel of food is given to him time to time in his room. He eats and spends 1 month. Another goes and it is the way that we keep our mind and senses turned to the world. We never have turned our torch towards ourselves. So the time to turn inward and search for the reality, to transcend one by one layers, sheets surrounding my soul and reaching the inward, we need time, we need freedom. So this arrangement has been made that one time there was nobody and one devotee was staying. I requested a devotee. He refused. He said, I cannot stay alone even for a single day. I said, no, it's possible. When you go to tour here, there, when you are hospitalized, you have to be alone there. You see Corona, even relatives are not allowed to see. Why can't you stay here for a few days? I said, if you can stay just for 1 week, another person is going to come and take over. Because some who are in the pilgrimage, others were busy with some other activities. So at last, reluctantly he said yes and went inside. Never he could think of God. Weep, 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 and third day he came out and said, I am not able to sit. He's continuously weeping. How painful to just to stay alone thinking of God. They're not able to do. Means how much, but the fact that he has come and staying in the ashrama, moving about ashrama, is a sign that inside there is a seed which has not germinated. Little germination to express that love for all beings is sufficient. Then it extends to the divine. First comes the parichaya, relationship, understanding of God, parichaya. Then slowly it develops into sambandha. We are not yet come into sambandha with God. So much of life gone. We do the bhajans, we do the prayer, this, that, everything. But God is, I have not entered. With the enemy we have the relationship of being enemy, but not with God. Meera, Tulsi and all, immediately they entered into sambandha, relationship. That relationship, then slowly the atmiyata grows. Intense love. That I cannot forget him, I cannot leave him for a moment. I am intoxicated with the thought of him, then the realizations come. We enter into the beyond realm within ourselves to get we enter the Chidakasha. This is space of matter. There is space of mind, Chitta Akasha, Mahakasha, Chitta Akasha. Then there is the space of consciousness, Chaitanya. The space of Chaitanya. That in that Chaitanya, Chidakasha, Chitta Akasha, Mahakasha. In the Chidakasha, when we enter, it is a port or harbor in which the ocean expands into the land, and from the absolute, God can manifest there in the heart of man. The 10th door is connected to the absolute, like the port or harbor which expands. It is a small place in which the land, the ocean has entered into land. Like that, God, the absolute, the Shuddha Chaitanya, the Brahman has expanded into every jiva. That consciousness, I am conscious now. That Chaitanya, I have got this Chaitana of knowing, understanding, is from there. That this is reflected Chaitanya, still it is Chaitanya, individualized. The absolute Chaitanya. God is projecting through every body as Jivatman. Can we go and see there? There, if you want to see God, God manifests with form, your Ishtadevata. So, turning inward, how difficult it is to call on God. Simply to sit for a few minutes without thought, it is not possible for normal man. And in one thought, to dwell for days together, years together. There it thrives, it dies. It will die if you put in a pot of rice. All remain silent. Vijay, that is Vijay Krishna Goswami, one of the disciples of Ramakrishna, who belonged to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Nityananda and all were there. To their group, his ancestor belonged to. And in that tradition of divine love, he has born with the same traits of divine love. He is to love Sri Ramakrishna and be with him just because he enters into ecstatic states of love. And we see this person ultimately, after the Mahasamadhi of Sri Ramakrishna, he goes to the Puri and spends his rest of life in thought of God. And where he left the body, there is a temple and a shrine there. There is an ashrama where he left his body, and his image is kept there for worship, Vijay Krishna Goswami. That is the Vijay. What must the bound soul's condition of mind be in order to achieve liberation? What must be state of mind, manasthiti, in order to achieve liberation? Master, he can free himself from attachments to woman and gold if by grace of God he cultivates a spirit of strong renunciation. He can free himself from attachments to woman and gold. Here it is translated into English as woman and gold. The term Sri Ramakrishna uses is Kamini Kanchana. Kamini includes every type of desire, whatever creates desire in us. It is somehow the English translation has come in as woman and gold. But it is actually to be translated lust and lucre. Lust is lust for gold, lust for any kind of lust is lust. So here, Kamini, any kind of all kind of desire comes within that term Kamini. Only two things, desires and possessions, Kanchana. Every type of possession. See, I may not be having wealth, I have an intellect, I possess it. I use it here and there. I've got so many wealths. Am I attached to that? Am I wrongly using it? Wealth, if it is used for good purposes, it is a wonder. It will take him to the divine. Easy using his intellect to destroy others or to construct good things in life. These are all wealth, Kanchana. We possess so many faculties, so many things, so many, even social status. If I put a word, people will accept and do. Can I use this? Can I defame or fame? So here, attached, are we attached to the gold and lust and lucre? He can free himself from the attachment to woman and gold if, by grace of God, he cultivates a spirit of strong renunciation. Renunciation, vairagya, tyaga. What are we going to do? The renunciation means what are we going to renounce? What is going to bind us? All the duties of life, all legitimate enjoyments are permitted for a householder. He can possess, but he has to do every act of his life as an offering to God, service to God. So there we see that he is sacrificing, he is giving himself entirely to the world and God without any restriction, limitation. The sannyasi cannot have any kind of enjoyment at any time, but householders are permitted to possess the wealth. It should not be misused, wrong use should not be there. And bodily existence, as far as possible, dwell in the thought of God and live in the world. If we cultivate strong, their renunciation whatever we possess, in sannyasa life, we renounce means we are away from it, we give it up. In householder's life, that giving up and living and running away doesn't come into picture. Whatever they possess, they keep as belonging to God, not as his. He is a trustee there. He possesses a house, it is God's. If he possesses children, wealth and all that belongs to God. Because one day we have to leave and go. And actually when we see, it doesn't belong to us. Same land, how many people came and told it is mine, mine and went away. Now we are showing RTC and telling it is mine. And another person is waiting to tell it is mine. It is here only, it doesn't belong to anybody, it belongs to God. According to our karmic merit, we have been allowed to stay here for a few days and we have to quit. And how can I say this is mine? Even body we have to leave and go. How can I say it is I or mine? Nothing is mine here. If I accept this truth, that nothing belongs to me, then he is transcending the limitations. He is going beyond. So here we see renunciation takes different form from person to person. If he is not attached, somehow he disowns it. That is sufficient. He is with that. He is protecting all that. He is protecting the house because it belongs to his beloved. He takes care as a trustee, not as a owner. I am a trustee. God has given in my possession. How can I neglect? It is in my possession. I have to full take care. See that it is protected. It is children. They don't belong to me. I have a right to give birth. I can never say it is mine. Because nature is taking away the child. When youth comes, there is total absence of parents in its consciousness. World is there, prospects are there. It is aiming at its own level of existence and thinking. How can I say that child is mine? So I can never, but it belongs to God. I have been blessed to give birth to that child, and that is my greatest fortune, that I have been able to, God has selected me to be the mother or father of a child. And that I have been given the responsibility to bring it up and give it back to the nature. With all responsibility and duty, we fulfill that and make that child stand in the world full-fledged on its own leg and take its own responsibility on its shoulders and wash off the hands. Yes, I have done my work. I have done my duties, be it an offering to the divine. So we cannot neglect, but we disown it and take it as belonging to God. In householder's life and in sannyasa, it is also not there. Everything, everybody, including my body, everything belongs to God only. And at all times it belongs to God, and we serve with love and care. So this is what we see, that feels happy there. One has cultivates spirit of strong renunciation. What is this strong renunciation? Sri Ramakrishna asking a question and answering himself. What is this strong renunciation? One who has only mild spirit of renunciation says, well, all will happen in course of time. Let me now simply repeat the name of God. But a man possessed of strong spirit of renunciation feels restlessness for God, as a mother feels for her own child. When we had gone in for a mela somewhere, the child has slipped away from the mother's hand in while walking in a group, they were talking, and this one, the child is missing, and the way in which she has become practically mad. She's shouting, and here, there, she's looking. People say, wait, he will come. He's a small boy, 5, 6 years old. You need not worry. He knows the address, he knows the father's name, mother's name. Why are you worried? But mother is restless. She has sat on the ground, he has fallen on the ground and weeping. Bring my child first, bring my child first. She is going and touching the feet of police people around. It's a mela with so many people. Then that 1 hour before she can get child, how much she has struggled and wailed. Unbelievable. We thought she is going to collapse now, die, if she doesn't get child. When it was announced that such and such child is missing, please see, somebody caught who was by the side and brought him to the stage. And then you was announced, he's here, you can take it. And how much joy. The same amount of elation, same amount of dejection. When she got, she is in ecstasy like, I got back my child. So this, just like do we feel the same way for vision of God? That kind of longing, that kind of struggle that we must get. But a man possessed of strong spirit of renunciation feels restlessness for God, as a mother feels for her own child. A man of strong renunciation seeks nothing but God. He does all his duties of life with great diligence, sacrifice, surrender. Never fails from any responsibilities or duties. But he doesn't seek any. I don't want anything. I am doing my all duties towards my children, my family, towards the society, towards humanity, what all I have to do, towards my ancestors who have passed away. I am doing my duties. But I don't seek anything from all this except God. Oh Lord, you have kept me here in this world, in this condition. I am doing all that because you have kept me here. Suppose you have made me sannyasi, I would have been subjected to that debt of mine. Now you have kept me here. I am doing all my duties. Now it's you that you have to release me from this bondage. So his whole mind is seeking God alone, but body and mind he has given. His heart is panting for God. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhrutavigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha.